States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Mel. Yes, if you're wondering why do we have morning announcements, video announcements on Thursday? Well, because don't have school tomorrow on Friday. We are celebrating the Juneteenth holiday. I hope you all have a great long weekend. A couple things from last week. 8th grade, just wanted to give a shout out to our 8th grade staff and our support staff and our PTSA and our students who attended the 8th grade gathering and enjoyed some food trucks and also had the opportunity to play some games on the sports court and in the grass. And a special shout out to Mr. Guadagno, one of our support staff members. Thanks for coming out and being a part and playing with the kids. It was great to see that. Also, Monday, we start, as we're getting closer to the end of the year, 4 days left after today. And we will be collecting the 5th and 6th grade Chromebooks on Monday. 7th graders, you need to turn your Chromebooks if you're in person on Tuesday. And finally, on Wednesday will be for 8th graders. And keep in mind, you must bring your charger with you. So bring those items with you. Again, 5th and 6th grade will be Monday. You'll be turning those in, your charger and Chromebook. Tuesday will be for 7th grade, the charger and Chromebook, and finally on Wednesday, the 8th grade with their chargers and their Chromebooks. And you may have noticed yesterday, that Mrs. Weir was walking around with another woman, and that woman is Mrs. Jonas, and she will be the new school principal starting on July 1st here at Mill Middle School. So she may be back before, we'll see, but hopefully if you had a chance to see her as she walked the halls and got to meet her, she's very excited to come to Mill and work with Mrs. Weir and the teachers and the staff, those of you who will be returning as 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. With that said, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
Hi, I'm Avyukta and I'm with
I'm Ward.
Why do we have next Friday off?
We have next Friday off because it is the observance of Juneteenth, which is June 19th, which is also the emancipation of slaves.
What is the history of Juneteenth?
June 19th was the day word reached the last state for free slaves after the Civil War.
How is Juneteenth celebrated?
Juneteenth can be celebrated by celebrations downtown Buffalo, like parades or a barbecue, or you can just celebrate it in your own way.
Thanks for that information about Juneteenth.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Gosh, so many great memories that I've had in 32 years of teaching. I started at Heim and then I came to Mill, and I would say some of my best memories are some of the work that I did with the herd. We furnished a whole house for a refugee family. We baked over 400 loaves of bread. And the connections that I've made with those students were some of my fondest memories, in addition to just every day creating a new memory.
My favorite memory from Mill would be when I used to work there at night, watching the kids in the activities, the dances, the social gatherings. Halloween was always fun, you know, looking at all the costumes, even when I worked throughout the district, especially like in the elementary schools, the kids were pretty good with their costumes. I remember one student who also came through here, James, who was in a wheelchair, and his parents did a great job at making sure that he was part of it and decorating his chair in many different ways.
Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Gilman, and my favorite memory of recent time would be doing the variety show faculty act, The Greatest Showman. It was just so fun, and it was so like to see Mr. Calandra and all the teachers, and it was just so fun. So that's my favorite.
Probably my most favorite memory has been taking kids on backpacking trips, canoeing trips. I even did a mountain biking trip with 8 kids. And I'm sad that we can no longer do those, but it was probably the most fulfilling and exciting time for me, right here at Mill.
That I enjoy doing. And then my favorite memory here at Mill, and I thought about this for a while, and I'll never forget it. I used to do a thing called Air Band, and it was a great show, and kids would act out songs, and probably you've seen the pictures in the hallway, and I hope they're going to bring it back next year. That's the word on the street, and I'd love to see that happen. But one year, there was a whole big group of kids, 8th graders and 7th graders, and there must have been a group of 20 kids, and they were doing an act from Annie. It's a hard luck life, and it was great, and they included a special needs student in their act, and she was great. And sadly, the mom couldn't come to the show, so she said, "Can I come to the dress rehearsal?" And I said, "Sure, no problem." And she was running late, and she comes running into the odd, and I looked up and I saw her, and I said, "Oh, you're just in time. They were just about to go on," and the curtains open, and there was her daughter in the middle of the act with all these 20 other Mill kids around her, and they're doing their routine, and the look on that mother's face, the look of joy, the look of happiness, and seeing her child be included in this act and be accepted by all the other kids was a memory I'll always cherish.
My favorite memory at Mill was recreating Mill Kids Care. I loved watching the kids at the end of the year celebration. It was so inspiring to see the Gen Ed kids working with the special needs kids and helping them feel included and respected and just part of the Mill community. And that's definitely going to be one of my biggest takeaways from working here the past 33 years.
If you know me, you know that I love reading and love writing. So one of my retirement pursuits is absolutely going to be to write that screenplay. You've heard me talk about that all the time if you know me. So I want to do some freelance writing and lots of reading, and I'm going to write the next best screenplay, and I'm going to invite all of you to the opening.
So how I plan to spend my time in retirement is working with my hobbies. I have a couple of hobbies. My main one is woodworking and wood turning. I like to turn bowls, pizza cutters, pens, and a variety of other things. So that's, and then just working around the house and out in my gardens, making sure that the weeds are kept down to minimum and things
My
like
favorite.
that.
My interests when I retire are going to be traveling, spending lots of time with friends and family, and my favorite thing to do is go to the beach. So I'm going to be at the beach a lot this summer. You might run into me.
I have so many, which is a good thing. My biggest thing is that eventually I plan on hiking the Swiss Alps. So hiking is one of the major interests. I love to fish. I love to read. I love to go to plays. I love to bicycle. I like to do lots of gardening. I will be busy, so I'm not too worried about finding things to do.
So just a few questions, a little about me. Interesting facts about me. Obviously I love history and I read as much as I can about history, but I also love biking. I love to mountain bike, and I love to just ride my hybrid bike on the trails. I kayak. I have a couple kayaks. I golf, but I'm not very good. I love to travel, especially out west, and when I'm retired, I will be visiting my 2 granddaughters who live in Montana, which is kind of far away, but I'm very much looking forward to that. What do I?
I'm going to love going to the gym whenever I please. Right now it's at 6:15 in the morning, so sleeping in is definitely in my retirement plan. I plan to spend more time with my mom, who's 91 years old, and so I'm looking forward to creating more memories with her and traveling to see my kids, because I think all 3 of them after the next week or 2 will all be out of town. And then definitely wanting to travel more with my husband, hopefully getting my kids on board once in a while so that we can do things together as a family. So really looking forward to that part of my retirement.
What I love most about teaching is the children. Every day I laugh with them, sometimes I've cried with them, but every day I've loved for 32 years teaching children, and it's the best part of my job.
So the question was, what did I like about teaching? Well, I'm not a teacher, but even if you're not a teacher, you can still reach kids in a special way. Not so much here at Mill, but at Forest, I had a little girl who has special needs who one year dressed up as me for Halloween.
And then what am I gonna miss about teaching? Everything except for grading. I'm not gonna miss that. But I'm gonna miss you, I'm gonna miss my colleagues, and I'm really gonna miss the whole teaching thing.
When a student or a group of students you've been working with for years, or even just for a day or so, they have that aha moment and you can see it light up in their face, whether it's through something that they've learned about a particular subject or something they've learned about themselves.
Just looking forward to that. What do I like most about teaching? I love being able to teach such nice kids like you, and all the students here in Mill Middle, but especially in Mill Middle. And I'm your biggest defender. Sometimes adults will say things about, oh, those kids today or something like that. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I teach really nice kids. And I say that to anybody. I'm the biggest defender.
I definitely love being a school psychologist. I think the last year and a half was no doubt more challenging than ever. I feel like I didn't really get a chance to see a lot of kids. So that part is sad to me. But as far as some of the things that I enjoyed most was really working with the kids and their families, identifying like what you're really good at and what might be an area that you need to continue to work on. And just helping you be your best self. That is really one of my favorite parts about being a school psychologist, and I'm going to definitely miss seeing the kids.
My final words of wisdom is just be kind. Look out for the little guy. Make sure that you take an extra interest in somebody that might need a friend, and also to do service work. I think it's so important for you to give back to your community, to give back to your school, and I think that's my important legacy, and I hope that I've sort of shared my passion for community service, and I want you to carry that torch and do the same.
So my words of wisdom as I leave Mill Middle is always to strive to do your best. Even when you stumble and fall, you get yourself back up and keep trying, no matter what you do, whether you're turning wood or learning to swim or riding a bike. You're gonna fall and you're gonna make mistakes, but the important thing is to get back up and keep trying.
My legacy for what I want to be remembered for is to choose kind.
Probably the golden rule, to treat other people, and I challenge you on this, to treat other people better than how you want to be treated, because we never really know what's going on in their lives.
My legacy is in my words of wisdom, and I said it last week when I was interviewed by Mrs. Miller's kids, and that was, not Mrs. Miller, excuse me, Mrs. Ganges, and that was to stay busy, and at least do at least one fun thing a day. And I wake up in the morning, especially on weekends, and I say, all right, what fun thing am I going to do today? And I always try to make sure I do one fun thing, whether it's golfing or biking or just something I enjoy doing. And then
my legacy is to really think about what Mill Kids Care teaches all of us. When I think back about the Gen Ed kids working with the special needs kids and going into the classroom, helping them with the celebration, reading to them, you know, it really speaks to being patient with one another, being kind to one another, and really being respectful to everybody. And that is the message that I'd like to share. It's so, so important, especially today when you think about everything that's gone on with the pandemic and all of the things that we're all experiencing as a result of that very stressful time. And if you can just be kind to people, I think it would make the world just a really better place.
Happy birthday to you.
Hello mill growers, we're here for our gratitude edition, and depending on where your mill grows pot is, you might have some different stages. In this mill grows pot, you'll see our spinach has gone to, it's called bolting, but it's gone to seed. We've got a little flower head there. If you wanted, you could leave that there and eventually harvest the seeds and plant them again. But at this point, you have a couple decisions to make. Now that the warm weather has set in, you could just level the pot, harvest everything, and enjoy it. These peas have burnt out. Yours may have or may have not. Looks like we're getting a little secondary growth. So you can either just harvest everything by cutting it off, or if you wanted to, you can continue to harvest individual things to try to prolong the harvest. But regardless of where you are, hopefully you've enjoyed your journey and you will grow again with us. So thank you, Mill, for growing with us.
Hi, Mill. I'm here with my friends Mr. Garlipo and Mr. Gamero to talk a little bit about gratitude. I'm going to start with a quote from Aesop. Gratitude turns what we have into enough. As I walk through my memories at Mill, I'm choosing to focus on those that I am grateful for. And in so, I would like to share a few benefits that you get from being grateful. You get an improved physical energy from being grateful. You feel lighthearted. You can take on things with maybe a little less stress. Emotionally, there's a sense of calm and of peace. Being grateful allows our social connections to see other people differently and accept who and where they are at that time. It also improves our resiliency to stress. So when I notice personally that I'm annoyed or feeling stressed about a situation, I take a moment, I take a few deep breaths, and then I name 3 things I am grateful for in that moment. It could be about the situation itself, it could be about the person that I'm working through this with. Whatever it is, I just try to refocus and find why I'm grateful and who I'm grateful for. All right, last but not least, Mill. Being grateful allows our own self-worth to increase, the value and acceptance of who we are, and being grateful for who we are and the gifts that we have. As you go through the rest of this year and into the beginning of next year, I encourage you all to take a moment, take a breath, and really figure out, in that moment, what are you grateful for? Mill, keep growing.